Hello crypto family and welcome to today's video. Few topics in crypto space as much debated as XRP and its price predictions. Some believe we have a peaked at $2 and are heading back to zero, while others claims XRP could reach $100 or even 1000. Personally, I'm hopefully for astronomical gains, but today let's have a grounded discussion about how realistic those projections are. We will compare XRP's market potential with the broad crypto space and with major global companies like Apple, Google, and Amazon. We will also explore Ripple's business model and how it compares to major financial infrastructure providers like Swift. All of those after a short intro. This content is just for education purposes, not for financial advice. So friends, currently XRP sits around $2.09 with a market cap of approximately 125 billion. So to reach $100 per XRP would need to increase its market cap by 48 times. Let's put that in calculator. When we take the current XRP market cap times 48, and then the result comes to a very wild number at roughly almost 6 trillion. More than 3 times Bitcoin's current market cap. Is that realistic? Oh, yes, I believe it could be. But the key question isn't whether it is possible, it is why such a massive inflow of capital would happen. Bitcoin has thrived on media hype and speculative investment. But even it might eventually reach saturation, it is not widely used for daily transactions. Its value is mostly based on the hope of future gains, much like gold. It's mainly a store of value, not a functional currency. That's why I think the comparison to gold is pretty good, because with gold, we basically have exactly the same situation. We actually only have the value storage idea, and hardly anyone takes this gold bar in his pocket because he might want to buy something somewhere at Walmart. But you buy the bars to protect certain values and above all, to preserve the purchasing power. Accordingly, if we look at the entire market caps of the world, as far as companies and raw materials are concerned, we also see that gold is number one, with almost $23 billion by now. That's already the largest compared to all the companies and raw materials. Accordingly, I believe that Bitcoin can certainly reach such a spheres again, and this sector will certainly one day be able to rise from 8th place again. But what will remain the case for both is that they are intended as a store of value, not for daily use, which is why they simply do not need billions of transactions at all, which in turn would be very important for the network fees and further value increases. One example of how it could work in a company that is not in a here at all is Swift. Swift is only one of several payments developers in the world. But Swift, for example, is a company that was founded in Belgium, also makes profits, but it's not listed in any of these rankings. Ripple, on the other hand, is focusing on real use cases. That is the major difference. Swift, for example, processes over 7 billion daily and over 2.7 trillion annually. Despite not being publicly traded or listed alongside with the top companies, Swift is crucial to global finance. Ripple aims to offer a better vision of this, faster, cheaper, and decentralized. In 2023, the real-world asset tokenization market was valued at about 185 billion. Ripple takes also on the crypto custody market with Metaco. It means Ripple's scope isn't limited to cross-border payment. It also includes working with central banks, CBDCs, and tokenization, real-world asset, positioning it across multiple massive financial sectors. That kind of multi-dimensional approach sets Ripple apart. Most companies focus on one main product or service, but Ripple is building infrastructure with broad potential. They have already developed their own stablecoin, tested the XRP Ledger for over a decade, and built a global network of partnerships and institutional support. So, could XRP reach $100 in 2025? It is not likely unless something major happens, like the US government, SWIFT, or central banks deciding to adopt XRP or the XRP Ledger as a new standard. If that were to happen, demand would explode, not just from investors, but from institutions that need XRP for real-world utility. That would be a game changer. If governments or institutions began relying on XRP to settle cross-border payments instantly and securely, we would be in a complete new territory. The demand wouldn't just be speculative, it would be a structural. It would represent the first time a cryptocurrency became essential to the global economy. Even regulatory changes could impact this. For example, if Ripple were ever forced to burn a large portion of its XRP holdings, the resulting scarcity could dramatically boost price without needing a 6 trillion market cap. One final note: comparing crypto market caps to company valuation isn't always fair. Companies are bound by the limits of physical products and services. Money, on the other hand, is limitless, and with global liquidity at all-time highs, the potential inflow into a crypto, especially a coin with utility like XRP, could be huge. By the way, there's some speculation that the Ripple is partnering with Swift tomorrow. Let's see the outcome. To wrap it up, yes, $100 XRP seem wild on the surface, but with real-world adoption, major partnerships, and regulatory alignment, it is not entirely out of reach. It would require unprecedented development, but then again, that is what innovation looks like. Let me know your thoughts. Do you agree, or you think I'm being too optimistic? I'm curious to hear your take. Thanks for watching. Take care and see you in the next video.